Hi everybody and welcome to another exciting edition of Boring JavaScript. I'm your host, the Virtuoid, aka Mike Smith, and today we're taking a look at the reverse method on arrays. The reverse method on arrays is a very easy one to understand. Simply put, it takes all the elements in an array and reverses them so that the first element is now the last element and the last element is now the first element. For instance, suppose you had this array. If you were to apply Array.reverse to it, you would end up with this array. It's that simple. As you can see, the first one has become last and the last one has now become first. There is a catch, however. You have to remember that the reverse operates on that array itself, so the array is mutated. So if you do use reverse, you need to be absolutely careful that if you do not intend to mutate the original array, then you're going to have to do something else. And I'll show you that in the presentations. So you want to see how it works? Let's get started. Okay, I'm starting out with an array because, well, we're doing the reverse method on arrays, and to call the reverse method, all I have to do is call the reverse method. That's it. So what does it do? It basically takes the array, as you see it here, and completely reverses it. So the first element in the array, instead of being cat, should be Larry. The second element will be whale, the Moby Dick the whale. The third element will be Flipper the dolphin. The fourth element will be Beep Beep the roadrunner, and so on and so forth until the very last element is Fluffy the cat. And that's pretty much it. So let's skip over to Node and let's type in Node reverse. And boom, there it is. See, lizard is now our first one and cat is now our last one. But the one thing I do want to show you here that you have to be aware of is that reverse does mutate the array. Whereas my array started out as cat being the first one and lizard being the last one, my array is now lizard being the first one and cat being the last one. So what's a method that you can use to be able to not mutate the original array but still get a reverse of the array? Well, one thing you can do is use a deconstructing assignment and basically make a flat copy of the array. Let me show you some code. Okay, I've popped some code in here, and here's the deconstructing array. So before I had animals.reverse, that changed the animals array itself. By using a deconstructor array, which is ... and I've covered deconstructing arrays in Boring JavaScript before, I am putting that deconstructed array, within array brackets. That basically produces a shallow copy of the array. And I'm going to be reversing not the animals array, but the shallow copy, and that's going to be put into reverse.animals. Because not only does reverse change the actual array itself, it also returns that array. So now reversed animals should contain all the animals in reversed order, while animals itself should remain the same. Let's go over to Node. Let's clear off our screen. Let's type in Node reverse. Yep, that's what happened. Our regular animals, our animals is now back to normal, cat to lizard, while our reversed animals is lizard to cat. And that's really all there is to the reverse method. It's very, very easy to use. So what's a good application for that? I'll show you that next. What is a good use for the reverse method? Well, let's take a quick look at something. I have an array of animals here that has multiple types in it. I've got a bunch of different cats, a couple of different dogs, there's a couple of extra coyotes in there too. And I want to be able to find the very last cat within this array, or the very last dog within this array, or the very last antelope within this array. Now, you can normally use the findLast method on arrays, and I've covered findLast on previous Boring JavaScript. But the issue is that findLast is an extremely recent addition to the JavaScript world, and there may be a lot of versions of Node or a lot of versions of browser that you may be having to work with that does not support findLast. So what can you do? Well, you can use reverse to basically create a very quick and easy polyfill. Let me show you how that happens. It all comes down to taking advantage of the find method within arrays. And the find method finds the very first element that matches a certain criteria. So in this case, if I have an animal type who equal to type, and I'm passing type as cat, dog, or antelope, it's going to find the very first method, or find the first element that matches our criteria. In this case, this is going to be the first cat, which will be Fluffy. This will be the first dog, which is Fido, and there is no antelope in this list. Well, if find will find the very first one, but we need to find the very last one, what can we do? Well, it's real easy. we can use reverse to create a whole new array in which the elements are reversed. So again, the last is now first and the first is now last. That means when we use the find method on a reversed array, it's going to start from the very bottom. So what's my first cat? My first cat's going to be Tom. What's my first dog? It's going to be Rover. What's my first antelope? There is no antelope here. So by doing the reverse of the original array, and again, I'm using the deconstructor assignment here and putting it into a new array so I don't touch the original array, I'm creating a new array called reversed animals, and I'm using the find method on the reversed animals. And find has been around for a long time, so you're not going to have any problems with having no support for that. So that's pretty much it. You have now basically got yourself, with these two lines, a polyfill for findLast. So how does it work? Let's take a look. Let's type in node find. And yep, my last cat was Tom, my last dog is Rover, and I don't have an antelope on the list. And so that is one of the many uses for reverse method on arrays. And that's all there is to the reverse method on arrays. I hope you enjoyed our video. Hope I didn't bore you to death. Please make sure you click on the like button below and click on the subscribe button to subscribe to this channel. Also, you can go to www.boringjavascript.com to see all the videos we produced. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you later.